So, you're thinking about studying in Europe? Awesome. The Erasmus Plus scholarship is without a doubt one of the best ways to do it. But let's be real, it can also be super confusing. My goal here is to just cut through all that noise and give you a simple, clear roadmap. We're going to figure out what this program is all about, see if you're a good fit, and lay out exactly how to get started. And look, this isn't just a marketing slogan. This is coming from students who've actually done it. They see it as way more than just a semester abroad. It's a serious launchpad for your career. That's the huge opportunity we're going to unpack right now. So, what is Erasmus Plus, really? Well, at its heart, it's this massive program from the European Union designed to give people incredible educational experiences. You can think of it like a giant umbrella covering a ton of different things. But for students like you, there are really two main paths you need to know about.
And that brings us to the first big thing we need to clear up. Honestly, most of the confusion around Erasmus Plus just comes from people mixing up the two main options available for university students. So let's break them down, nice and clear.
Okay, this is probably the single most important difference to get. On one side, you've got the semester exchange. This is a short-term deal, 1 or 2 semesters, and you apply right through your home university. On the other side, you have the Erasmus Mundus Masters. This is the whole shebang, a full 2-year degree program, often in multiple European countries, and you apply through a central online system. Totally different experiences, totally different commitments. All right, now that you know the options, the next logical question is, can you even apply? So let's run through the eligibility checklist. This way, you can see exactly where you stand. So let's just ask the big question. As I go through these core requirements, just kind of think about your own profile and see how it lines up with what they're looking for. Okay, first up, the absolute basics. You've got to be from an eligible country. And trust me, that list is long, including places like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Now, for a Mundus Masters, you need to have your bachelor's degree finished. For a simple exchange, you just need to be enrolled and have at least your first year done. And here's something great. There's no official age limit. We've seen successful applicants from 18 all the way to 35. Now for the big one, language skills. For most Mundus programs taught in English, the magic number you'll see everywhere is an IELTS score of 6.5. But, and this is a big but, that's a minimum. The really competitive programs might want to see a 7.0, so you absolutely have to check the specific program you're interested in. And what about grades? Well, there's usually not a strict hard cutoff, but a CGPA of 3.0 or higher is what you should really be aiming for to be considered a strong applicant. But that's definitely not the whole story. And this is so crucial. They look at everything. It's what's called a holistic review. So what does that mean? It means if your CGPA is a little on the lower side, but you have awesome publications or relevant work experience, or you write a killer motivation letter, that can totally make up for it. They want to see the complete picture of who you are. Okay, you're eligible, you're motivated, so how do you actually do this? Let's get practical and start building your application toolkit step by step. The whole process really boils down to these 4 things. First, find your program. For an exchange, you'll go to your university's international office. For a master's, you'll hit the online Erasmus Mundus catalog. Second, and please don't skip this, you have to meticulously review all the requirements. Once you know what they need, you get all your documents ready way in advance. And finally, you submit your application online. Simple as that. So what's in that toolkit? Think of it as your personal portfolio. You're going to need a CV, and by the way, they expect the Europass format, so make a note of that. You'll need a really compelling motivation letter that tells your story. Then, of course, your academic transcripts, 2 strong letters of recommendation, your language test scores, and a copy of your passport. And now for the part I know you've all been waiting for, the money. What does this scholarship actually cover? Let's dive into the financial breakdown, because it's pretty different depending on which path you take. You can see the difference is pretty huge right here. For both programs, your tuition fees are covered, which is fantastic. But the real game changer is the monthly stipend. And Mundus Masters gives you a very generous $1,000 to $1,400 a month, and that often includes travel and insurance costs. The semester exchange stipend is smaller, more like $450 to $600. Why? Because it's really just meant to supplement your living costs, not cover everything from scratch. And you really need to listen to this next part. For the semester exchange, that smaller stipend has to stretch a long way. In most cases, you will have to pay for your flights, your visa fees, your insurance, and your housing out of that monthly amount. This means you have to be really smart with your budget. Some past students even call this the dark side of the exchange if you go in unprepared. Okay, we're on the home stretch. You're ready to get this journey started, so let's wrap up with a quick look at the typical timeline and the most important final tips you need to know. So, when does all this actually happen? Well, the cycle is pretty predictable. You can expect the application portals to open up in the fall, usually around October or November. You'll have until early the next year, sometime between January and March, to get everything submitted. Then comes the hard part, the waiting. Results usually come out between April and July, just before the programs kick off in the autumn. If you only remember one thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Every single source, every student, every expert says the same thing. The details change from program to program. One master's might need an interview, another won't. The only source of truth, the only place you should trust, is the official website for the specific program you're applying to. Always, always, always check there first. So, there you have it. We've covered the what, the why, and the how. The opportunity is absolutely massive. And now you have the roadmap. Your European adventure is waiting for you. The only question left is, are you ready to begin?